Yo, what's happening, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the midday live. And yeah, we got a lot to discuss, people. A lot to discuss, man. Lots of positivity, lots of negativity, and a bit in between. To discuss it with us, we've got LB Man City flying 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
Life's good over the other side of Manchester, innit?
life is the sky is blue, Bray. The sky is blue. It's not actually.
Well,
It's very grey today.
well, it's not actually today, but yeah, it's great today. But yeah, but
no,
yeah.
I'm loving life, man. Loving life. Season is going as planned. It's great when your club has a plan and it executes that plan correctly. Life can become very, very chill. And I'm cruise control, bro. Cruise control.
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. Another person in cruise control is Tottenham. Last minute winner, the mentality is back. I told you, man, title race for Tottenham. I did say to you, you know what I mean, a couple of weeks ago, but you called it down. But Sava, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm still going to call it down this week. 5 games in. I've been here before as a Spurs fan, Saeed. I've been here many times before. But yeah, listen, I can't complain. It's nice to see what we're seeing. And I'm well, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, Gooni's in the dark there, man. I don't know, man. I feel like that's how you feel right now. I don't know. I've just put the light on just to glow me up a little bit. But what are you saying, Goonie? You just want to be in the dark, yeah?
Yeah, no. Today we're recording from the shadow realm, cuz we're in the depth, we're in the darkness, cuz. Yeah. I'm Bane right now. Yeah, you listen, you lot just adopted the darkness United. Yeah, we was born in that. Yeah. Couple seasons running now. We are in the ghetto, the dumps, fam.
That is
I hear you, man.
Dark, bro.
I'm with you. Yeah, it's dark, bro. But you know what? Dark times is how you feel, man. This is reality, man. Reality is hitting my club and Chelsea's club. This season is going to be a long, long season. Don't worry, people. Lee Gunner is on his way. You know what I'm saying to you? And when you're winning a lot of games, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, life takes you there. So, yeah, man, he'll be here. Don't worry. He'll be here in a minute. But where do we start, man? You got Chelsea or United? Like, LB, where do you want to start? Sava, where do you want to start? Because we'll be happy to respond.
We need to start off with Manchester United, man, because listen, I think serious questions needs to be asked about this manager now. Serious questions. I don't think that maybe we're not at a stage where it's sacking him right now, but there has to be serious questions being asked about this manager. I mean, we don't just look at this season; we look at last year as well. Yeah, there's some good times for Manchester United, but there were some massively bad times as well. Conceding 7 against Liverpool, 6 against City. Okay, let's be real. Carabao Cup, yeah. You didn't really face anyone until you got to the final, and then Newcastle were probably the better side. Same with the FA Cup. Not taking it away. You can only play against who you're drawing. I get it, but there were red flags last year. This year, you should have kicked on. I called it weeks ago, man. I think United got worse this season. We're still not seeing a style of play from Manchester United. He's been there 14 months. How long does he want until Man United are going to start playing football the Ten Hag way? Or is this the Ten Hag way? I think the way he handles the Sancho situation was very naive and poor. And I think the blow up from that, obviously, it's not done Sancho any favours, but it's not done. I don't think it's done Ten Hag any favours. I think he's been very naive. And I just look at the situation again and say, this job at Manchester United, please understand, this comes from a place of respect for United rather than a mocking situation. Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? And that club has a ownership model that is shocking, a board that don't know what they're doing, a stadium that's falling down, and a training ground that needs completely remodernisation, right? And you've got a manager, and my simple question that I've been posing to you guys on a panel and to the chat over the last couple of weeks is, what has this manager ever done to suggest that he's got the credentials for this gigantic task? What has he ever done? He's won some Eredivisie fairs. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna take away if you win a trophy. I ain't gonna take away. I can also caveat it a little bit and say, well, it's the Eredivisie, but I'll give it you. I'm not gonna slam the guy for it. And then someone in the chat last week had the audacity to say, you've clearly never seen his record in the Champions League. Oh, really? Okay. Well, guess what I went and did after that comment? I went and checked his record in the Champions League. Don't start talking to me about his record in the Champions League, right? Just because he got a semi-final once and then absolutely bottled it. Don't start talking about that yet. So my simple question is this. I don't think this guy at this moment in time is showing that he has the authority or knowledge to navigate this ship of Manchester United. And I just think at this moment in time, listen, I'm not trying to argue out right now if I was a United fan. I'd give him a little bit more time to try and sort it out. I just think at the moment he's showing me all the wrong signs of a manager that's in charge of Manchester United. And the bare minimum that United fans should be seeing is a good style of football, and you're still not.
Yeah.
I think it's poor.
You know what it is? Yeah, you're spot on. I think so, what most of you said is spot on, man. I think for me, yeah, I'll give him the credit last season. You got third position. And whether you think Liverpool and Tottenham and everyone else bottled it, that's for another question, innit? Manchester United did what they had to do. They came third. They were consistent at home. Okay, our away form was patchy. Our top 9 record is a disgrace. But we did what we had to do. We got third. It was a respectable season. I said it. I wasn't gloating it. It was a respectable season. Now, the next season, you have to go one further. You need to A, see a more evident style of play, and B, you need to see a bit more cohesion in what you're doing. And for me right now, I don't see that. I think there's a lot of players that are not performing, and I think they as well need a lot of scrutiny. A lot of them need a lot of scrutiny, because we can always blame the manager, but these same players are still here under 3-4 different managers. So sooner or later we've got to start questioning these players. But for me, I do agree. This was a season where we needed to kick on. And after 5 games, and I know it's early, and a manager should have a time to struggle and understand where he's gone wrong and correct it. You're allowed that time to struggle, and he's deserved that for the season he's had last season. But I'm seeing very, very glaring problems. And you know what? They're not something that you fix overnight. They're not something that, some of it is down to the fact that he is stubborn. As a manager, he has this belief. And I spoke to the guys at Ajax, and they said when it went wrong, he didn't have a plan B. So I'm like, well, hold on a minute. We had that same problem with last manager. So things need to improve. Things also need a bit of time. But in this day and age, you don't have time. I'm sorry, it's a results-based business. And you know what? Fans are fickle. Fans are not patient. And, cycle moves on. You only get certain great managers that come around like Klopp and maybe Guardiola. The rest of them, you kind of get 3 years out of them. And if you don't get 3 years out of them, they're sacked within the 1 year. So, let me bring Sava up, because apparently he had a bet last week with a United fan. But,
yeah,
Sava, where do we United go from here? What's the situation? Talk to me, man. What's your point of view?
First of all, I need to remember who the bet was with. So at the moment, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that person's going to step forward right now and go, "Yeah, I had the bet about Man U." Look, on a serious note, I don't know where Man U go, because this is now Ten Hag, Solskjaer, Ragnick, David Moyes, Van Gaal. I might be missing someone. David Moyes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ollie.
The thing I can say about Man United is I don't know what you are. And this is my big thing about when I look at football clubs. What are they? I look at Arsenal. I know what Arsenal are as a football team. I know as a club where they're trying to head. I get what their football is. I don't know what Man U are. I know what Man City are. I know what Brighton are. You know what Newcastle are. I don't know what Man United are. It's like there's a lot of names that have got these really big reputations across football, but that don't gel. There's probably some very good footballers in there, but I can't see an ethos. I can't see a fit. And when teams are coming to Old Trafford, which was a fortress for when I was growing up, Old Trafford wasn't, not from the first until I was 10. But after that, United was the theatre of dreams. Everyone went there going, well, let's write this off. That's a home win. Now teams like Brighton, who have been in the Premier League for 5 years, are coming to you and playing you off your own park. Like, that's a huge concern. And I get it if there hadn't been money spent. I get it if the manager had just joined. Like obviously we'll get to Chelsea later, but like Poch has just joined. Ten Hag, this is his club now. He's had 10, 11 signings, maybe. I don't know. Man United fans will tell me 10, 11 signings. He's got rid of players. And you watch Man United, and I don't see any difference please don't all shout at me at once. I don't see any difference to watching you and watching Brentford, Fulham. I don't see that you're a big club anymore. Not in terms of stature, you're massive, but on the pitch, I don't worry about you at all. I don't look at you and think that you're worthy of all the big praise for, the big game, Liverpool United. I don't think it is. You know what I mean? I don't think it is that big rivalry anymore. So harsh, but I don't know. It's just not right, is it, Saeed? It's not right.
No. You're spot on. You're spot on. And obviously, there's a couple of fans in here saying, "Get me De Zerbi." I'm sorry, man, but De Zerbi doesn't do what he does at Brighton at Man United because the current structure won't enable it to happen. Amar says, "Look, Arteta been given 5 years and 700 million." Listen, Arteta could have been sacked, easily. I think the board were very, very. They lacked a bit of bones. Okay, he needed time, but I'm sorry, a big club like Arsenal. You know what I mean? For me, when I look at it, it should have sacked him when he finished 8 positions. They were embarrassing at the time. So, yes, they gave him time and yes, churned it around. But at the same time, let's not do this, revisionism. He could have easily been sacked, for where he finished. And the fact that he bottled top 4 that season, he could have easily been sacked then. So they've given him time, and obviously rightly so in their eyes, but also it could have changed in that regard. So,
but again, that's one difference there, though, Saeed. The one difference I give with that one compared to the Ten Hag situation at Man United is what Sava was saying. Like, you're still not seeing Man United. Like, what is United's style under Arteta? Yeah, you've seen the stand. You've seen how he wanted to play, and you've seen that with Pep Guardiola in his first year. And listen, both Arsenal and Manchester City took some heavy beatings in that first season, but the fans could see the style of play, and maybe some fans at Arsenal didn't want Arteta, but you could at least see what he was trying to do. The point that Sam was making, the point I'm making is, we're 14 months down the line or whatever since Ten Hag is coming in, and what is the style of play? I've just looked at the stats. Yeah, last year United, on average, in the Premier League, had 53% ball possession. This year, it's gone down to 50%. You're having less ball possession than you had last year. I thought the whole aim of getting Ten Hag in was to basically copy City. Let's be honest. To copy City, dominate the ball, play really nice football, and you're not doing that. You're not dominating.
LB, I thought it was to create Ajax. I genuinely thought when he was going to come in, they were going to kind of adopt some sort of Ajax model where even if the results weren't going well, football fans can go, okay, see what they're trying to do though. Like, they didn't play, they didn't win, but didn't they play well? And if they just get this missing piece. Now you watch United and it's just like, I don't know. And like, the thing is, the worst thing for me, and sorry to cut in there, but the worst thing for me, LB, is everyone who's not Man United was saying this before the game. Everyone was saying, people are going, who's your big, where's your, what's it called? Where's your upset this weekend? People are going, Brighton. And other people going, is that an upset? Is it an upset now for United to lose at home to Brighton? And that tells me everything you need to know about Ten Hag's reign. It's been like that. Cup win, cup final, up and down. Yeah. Getting battered by Liverpool. The football. I watch you lot play football and I think, God, this gives me Conte vibes. This gives me Antonio Conte vibes.
Nah, it's not Conte, because Conte was very, very defensive football. Ours is more transition football, if you get what I mean. Yours is kind of sit back, and then wait for maybe Kane to kind of do that. I think it's similar in the sense of you are waiting for moments, though. With Ten Hag football, you are waiting for the odd moment where someone kind of comes in here, or Rashford might do something. And if certain players aren't doing it, then it doesn't work, and it doesn't. You don't see the fruits of it. Like, we're not seeing Onana play the way he's supposed to be playing. I'm seeing Onana taking the ball out of the back of his net. And I'm like, you might as well get the up.
But then he also hasn't recruited well either. I think Ten Hag has had a bit of a stinker over the summer. Mason Mount, putting that much of your budget on a player like that when really and truly he had priorities elsewhere was a massive red flag. That should have never happened. Yeah. You could have used that money to spend elsewhere on the pitch. What was the Amrabat thing? Is that a loan or was that a permanent?
Yeah, loan.
And all they wanted was 25 million euros or 30 million euros for him. Do you know what I mean? You could have bought him. You didn't need to get Mason Mount. Your winger situation, I ain't going to lie to you, bruv. I don't rate Garnacho. I don't think he's all as what people are saying that he is.
But he's a young buck, though, isn't it? I get what you mean.
He is, but I don't think he's enough right now. It's a very similar situation to the majority of my squad. Like they can be good later, but right now it ain't it. Onana as well, boy. Listen, yeah. As good as I've
don't do
seen
that.
him be, yeah. When the pressure's on, bruv, it's not looking good. He's looking a bit erratic at times. Yes, he's made some fantastic saves. That point blank save he made over the weekend was quality. But at the same time, bro, Saeed, you can't sit there hand on heart and tell me that you're not worried this guy ain't going to make a mistake every time he plays at this moment in time.
No. What for me though is, I didn't think we'd brought him in to be this amazing shot stopper. I thought we were going to bring him in to say, right, we're playing a different brand of football, and he's going to be pivotal to the way we play. Like that's like like LB, like Edison. When you look at it, is he an amazing shot stopper? Like is he like if you look at Alisson, for me, he's the best in the world. Alisson, shot stopping, clear, any day, like the way his saves are, the amount of reflexes, whatever you want from Alisson, he's got it all. And I look at the way Edison is, like he was meant to be that kind of guy, the first line, right? And he starts off the sweeper, keeper, everything that's included. And I'm sorry, man, I'm not seeing the fruits of what we bought him for. You know what I'm saying? And that for me is a bit concerning because it's like, bro, he's having the same amount of shots flown at him as David De Gea did, if not even more. If not even more.
But Saeed, this then comes down to the manager, because what he's done, right? He's took David De Gea, who was shocking with the ball at his feet, but a really good shot stopper. Yeah, a really good shot stopper. Okay, I made a mistake now and again, but all goalkeepers do. Was a really good shot stopper.
Yeah.
And then he's replaced it, like you just said, with a guy who probably isn't as good as shot stopping as De Gea, but is meant to be really good on the ball. But as you said, we're then not seeing United play with the ball. The stats prove it. They've had less possession this year in the 5 games that they played than they did last year. So, so that's for me. That's on the manager. People can say, "Oh, the players need to step up." Well, it comes from the manager. The manager needs to be demanding that United play out from the back more than they currently are and getting on the ball more. And they're not doing that. And you can't just use the excuse of, "Oh, well, we don't have the players for it." You've got to force it. Otherwise, why'd you get Onana? This is what I just said on my last stream. Yeah, I feel like Ten Hag is waiting until he's got 11 players on the pitch who are literally perfect for him before we start to see the football. That's not how football works, man.
It's not. You have to have for me, Brighton didn't have most of their players yesterday or Saturday, right? But they still play the same style of football that they would play when they do have them players. For me, that's the clearest indication of that is what you call a style, like a substance, a philosophy. You can see what De Zerbi is trying to do. You can see it. But and this is for me, this is why I'm not buying into excuses about players injured. Yes, they help you function better and they help you score more goals and whatnot. But if talking about style of play, for me, you need to, when them players are still there, it needs to be conducive. It needs to be still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have
Let me get some super chats in.
Sorry.
Jay says here he had to sacrifice the league position to do what he needed to do to implement his system / club culture. Man United need to understand there's no quick fix. I understand that, bro. I fully understand that, and I get you. But at the same time, it needs to be better going into the second season. There needs to be a more stronger implementation of what you're trying to do. That's all it is. I'm not asking for wonders. I'm just asking to know we have a plan. That's all it is. Uncle Man says you're complaining about a man who's in his first job to do a so-called serial winner. Also, Arteta had a terrible team to work with. Your manager has Champions League winners. Yeah, but don't mean anything when you go to another club, though, does it? But anyway, go on, Sava, man. You're gonna say something there. And please like the video, people.
I was just going to say to your point that, listen, I think all clubs miss players. I do feel sometimes if a club's got 8, 9, 10 players out, but a club shouldn't lose 1 or 2 players and the whole system dies around it, right? Yes, there's a drop-off, of course, but you still play the same style. I would hate to think that if Spurs lose, to use my club, I'd hate to think that if we lose Basuma, that all of a sudden, the whole shape goes. No, we lose Basuma's ability and the player coming in after him isn't as good, but the formation stays the same. The tactic stays the same. The energy stays the same. So that's where I think I would be the most worried if I was a Man United fan. It's not necessarily immediate results. It's you can't. I don't care. I defy any Man United fan to tell me what is going on. Like any Man United fan to tell me,
I don't know.
Give it a couple of weeks and this is going to happen. You look gone. You look like a mid-table football team. Do. Sorry, I'm not being rude. You do. You look like.
Oh, we are
you
there
look
now.
like
Anyway,
how we looked last
we
year.
are there. Where we're 12th or something. 12th. I don't know where we are now. I don't even know where. I don't want to look where we are.
Said, do you think it's going to get worse as well now the Champions League's about to start? Because I look at your team at the moment. You got some injuries as well. And I look at that and thinking, you know what I'm saying? And people, I seen a tweet the other day saying United have got easy fixtures coming up. I look at the fixtures of it. Have you? Have you got easy fixtures?
Hey, listen, there's no easy fixtures, man.
Well,
like Burnley away, we'll give them their first 3 points, man, for all we know. Like, you know what it is? The idea of easy fixtures, yeah? And Chelsea will be a prime example of that. You've got to be in the right kind of, mind frame. You've got to go in there with a bit of, substance. You can't just go in there thinking you've got a divine right that you've won the game. No. You have to apply yourself. Players have to apply themselves. Your attack needs to be functioning. Everything needs to be functioning. You just don't go in there and say, yeah, that's an easy 3 point. There's no really easy 3 points if you don't apply yourself. If you do apply yourself, of course. If you do have the momentum, of course. But sorry, man, I don't buy into it. And this is why I'm like, our next game is against Burnley away. And we'll probably scrape that. Or we might lose. Or we might even win. I don't know. Man United at the minute, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's a pack of cards, basically, and you don't know what's going to come out. You don't know. It's as simple as that. Big up to ZDT. Ten Hag will probably want Quincy Promise next. Ticks all the boxes. Play for Iceland. Should be in prison. Bro, that's wild. That's wild. But listen, I hear you. That's cold. Siam says Arteta had Mustafi, Socrates, Kolasinac, and Bellerin in his back line after a year in Chad, plus dealing with COVID. Don't compare Ten Hag with him. But Ten Hag also got a team that finished 7th. Probably the worst ever finish I think we finished in the last couple of years. That was rotten to the core and lifted them up to 3rd as well. So as much as we say Arteta did wonders, Ten Hag also, I'm not saying he did wonders. I don't like you to use that word because we're a Man United Football Club, but he got them from 7th to 3rd. So and he improved players as well in that meantime last year. So let's not do this, man. As much as we can bash Ten Hag, Ten Hag also did what he did last year. So, but again, it's not what you did last year. It's what you did this year. And that's how football is. It's not what you did for me last year. Last year's done. You got to move on now. We finished 3rd. We got the Carabao Cup. But you see what, yeah? I don't care now. I want to know what's going on this season. Tell me. And like I said, it ain't easy right now. If you're a Man United fan and you think that things are just going to smooth over, it doesn't work like that, man. It will be very, very tough and it will be very, very dark. And you know what? Ten Hag may survive this. He may not. But some of the players, though, as well, need accountability as well, man, guys. Because some of them, they're not producing.
Let me go on to the players, because some of the players, that you might speak about, I think need protection. So, for example, Casemiro, right? Everyone talk about Casemiro at the moment potentially falling off. Well, this is, for me, where the manager then needs to make a call. Because you remember the first game against Wolves, right? Casemiro got run ragged in that game. All he needed was Ten Hag to tell someone to sit next to him for a bit to calm things down. So you can look at Casemiro, and United fans can look at Casemiro and say, oh, Casemiro's not fit enough, he's not playing well enough. But is it going to change? Maybe you have to help the guy out a little bit. Just sit a player next to him for a few minutes. And you can say that about some of the other players. I think it's very easy for people to go, oh, some of the players need to stand up, the players need to do better. The players go out there and they do the best. They do the best. No player goes out on a football pitch and doesn't try. They're trying the best. For me, it comes back to the manager all the time. The manager is the one that gives them the instructions. If the players are not playing well, it's probably because that they don't fully understand what they're meant to be doing. And who can blame them? Because, bro, you're not telling me that he's not got them on the training pitch trying to play nice football. He's not got them on the training pitch playing dead game, dead ball. He's got them playing nice little sharp play, you know what I mean? Like fucking in the circle and that, playing nice little short passes. But then when they go on the football pitch to play a match, they play a different style. So, look, you can talk about the players and that. I just think that it's coming down to the manager at the moment. He needs to fix up his ideas, and we'll see how he gets on, man. But he's already lost 3 games this season in 5. He lost 9 last year in 38.
Bro, I can't believe it, We're only 5 games in. We lost 3 games already, man. I find that crazy, man. I'm sorry, man. But that's what you associate Luton Town and them. And listen, respect to Luton Town. But that's what you associate with teams down the bottom. You're losing 3 games already. And you could arguably say, guys, and this is me as an honest fan, we could have easily lost to Wolves. We could have easily lost to Nottingham Forest. We lost to Tottenham, we lost to Arsenal, and we lost to Brighton. We could technically have lost all of our games this season, and no United fan could bat an eyelid to say, you know what, that was not deserved. Nobody. And that is the damning thing about this season, is that it's still very, very bad. And I know we won that game against Wolves, and we won against Nottingham Forest, but they were not convincing wins. They were not. And that is damning from Manchester United, man. Damning. Gonna get a couple of super chats before we move on. King Stash and Mount played 2 games. Can't scapegoat him for like Sancho was. If you are in a midfield with Casemiro and Bruno, they aren't press resistant and are slow. You're setting up to fail. But this is the problem. Like, people will say, get Casemiro out and bring Amrabat in, but then you still have the same problems with 2 8s bombing on forward and leaving space in behind. So I think for me, it's very, very easy to scapegoat Casemiro. It very, very is one of our best players last season. But I'm telling you now, yeah, people can have, a loss of form is what's happening to Casemiro. But I think for me, I just think the structure of Man United, the way we're functioning, is all off. And to say that Mason Mount can save that, I just think I think we're just far fetched in that, man. I really do. Uncle Man said Ten Hag shouldn't be doing better than the players has. Arteta inherited a lot of crap. There's no comparison. If you don't get top 5, it has to be sacked. First. Well, his position will become untenable then, isn't it? I don't know. I personally, for me, don't think sacking a manager changes anything. You're just back in the same old cycle.
If you don't get Champions League, though, bro, that's a big thing.
100%. Yeah. Well, it comes untenable, isn't it? It speaks for himself. Guys, nearly 1.7k in here. Guys, please like the video. There's not even 500 likes, man. I don't get that, man. I really don't, man. There's 1.6k. That means over 1,000 of you have not liked the video. Come on, guys, just like the video. Helps the channel out massively, and it helps the algorithm so it reaches out to more people. So big up to everybody who's here, and make sure you're subscribing to everyone's channels. Link is in the description. Chelsea, Goonie, chat to me, man. Chat to me. Over to the other dark side of listen, man. I thought we're bad, yeah, but the way you lot are toothless, and I looked at your bench, I'm like, what have you lot spent, man? Because your bench, I see Washington, I'm seeing a couple of states in there. I'm like, yo, is this America or is this Chelsea?
Bruv. We have $500 million in injuries. 12 players injured, fam. That's part of the reality of it. But it's the same story every season now, isn't it? Chelsea, injuries, key players, injuries, same faces, injuries, bro. This time we've got new faces and now still injuries, man. But that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for these results that we've been seeing recently, especially the result that I had to see yesterday, bruv. Disgusting, disgraceful result, man. We should have got 3 points yesterday. 100%.
Thanks. No, I hear you, man. I think for me, when I look at Chelsea, I look at Pochettino already. Have you seen the excuses that's coming out already? Like, he's moaning a lot, and it's coming the job. I get it now. 1 year in. Go on.
I'll be honest with you. I already stopped listening to Pochettino's post matches and pre matches. I stopped listening to him because the guy's a walking oxymoron right now, bruv. Yeah, he says one thing and then he comes out and says something else 45 minutes, an hour and a half later. My bro, does he think I'm stupid? Do you know what I mean? If there's one thing that I don't like is when people try and take me for stupid, bro. And that's what he's doing. He's saying we must win the Premier League. We must get a European position. And then he's coming out an hour and a half later and saying something that's contradictory to that. Ridiculous, bruv. I'm not here to listen to that. And look, as much as he's a victim of circumstance, I'm not going to just go full out on Pochettino. As much as he's a victim of circumstance, he doesn't help himself, bro. Don't help himself on the pitch either. He's just showing me cowardice, bro. Yeah, it's one thing to have 6 defensive players on the pitch against Liverpool because that's risk assessment. Do you know what I mean? In relativity, you're looking at the opposition that you're facing, and there's a numerous world-class, dangerous options on that pitch for Liverpool. So you've got to pay attention to that. But then when you're playing a Luton Town, I don't care if we won 3-0 or whatever the score was, you're not having 6 defensive players on the pitch. And then you're going to West Ham, you're getting clapped 3-0, and then they're 1 man down as well. And the worst thing about it is that when they have a man sent off, I knew that it was going to be an even more difficult game for us because we struggled to break down teams. And the cycle was pointing to that yet again. And then you've got Nottingham Forest. What happens? Same again. Defensive players on the pitch. You've got Ben Chilwell as left wing. Why are we doing this for? What are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Mudrik's not even injured, and he's still being preferred, and the left back is still being preferred at left wing over him. And then on top of that, to make things even worse, you've got a centre back playing as a left back. What are we doing here? And then you start that centre back as a left back yesterday. Wait, hold on. You start that centre back as a left back yesterday. You give Mudryk his first start, who's shot to pieces on confidence. He's got nobody to help him out, to support him on that wing. And then now Mudryk is going to get scapegoated. Oh, you had a shit game, whatever. In a back four, that winger needs support. He needs an overlap. He needs an underlap. He needs somebody who knows when to do those things. Colwill is not that guy. Why? Because he's a centre back, not a left back. He can't get up and down quick enough. He's not fast. That's not a trait. That's the most important thing as a centre back. It is as a left back. He you know, in terms of crossing, he's not the best. He can do it once in a while. He's not the best though. His strengths are when he, you know, makes passes from the center, distributes long pass from the defensive line. Yeah. Now you're asking, it's ridiculous. Like a lot of this is just stupid. And regardless of injuries, you've got 2 left backs on the bench. People are going to sit down and tell me, oh, yeah, but Ian Matson hasn't been used as a left back at Chelsea. Well, he came up in the academy as a left back. He went on loan to Coventry and played as a left back there. Then he went to Burnley, played as a left back there. Now he's coming to Chelsea. He's been played as an attacking mid during pre-season. This is why I'm saying, like, look, I know it's very early with this whole Poch thing. I'm not even saying Pochettino out because, like, it's just gonna, if we sack him and bring in another manager, it's gonna repeat the cycle and just prolong the whole thing. We're never gonna get to any European spots at this rate doing that. Do you know what I mean? At some point, we're just going to have to sit and settle and we're just going to have to wait for results to happen. Unfortunately, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. I'm having to revise 5 games in. Yeah, 5 games in. Yeah, 5 points only. I'm having to revise and say we might not even get European spots this season, the way it's continuing. And why I say that is because the run of games that we've got, I think it's towards the end of this month, towards December, it is looking shattering, mate. Absolutely shattering. And there's a very big it's a very realistic option that we're not going to be in the top half of the table come Christmas. What do you think is going to happen to Pochettino? I'm not saying that I want him out, but what do you think naturally is going to happen if we are in the bottom half of the table come Christmas? It's a results business. Ain't no time for patience in football. It's a results business. If you're not getting the results, you're going to be out of here, regardless of how I feel. They're going to be pressured to get him out of here.
Lee, welcome. I know you were in traffic there, so big up to you, man.
Sorry for the lateness.
How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. My club's all right at the minute. Gooney's stressed. Gooney's proper stressed. And
he's stressed, man. But can you feel him? Do you feel an ounce of a sympathy for him? Spending £1 billion?
No,
you know what I mean?
No sympathy for him. Long may it continue. Not for the sanity of my friend, but he needs to be happy. Yeah, and he's looking stressed right now. But just for the fact that they have done $1 billion. I watched that game before the Arsenal game. They didn't look like scoring. I know somebody in the chat said Mudryk put 2 on a plate. Yeah, he did, but I just knew they weren't going to score him. Yeah, I think one bounced off of Jackson's shin and went straight over the bar.
They told me that, oh, you mentioned that guy's name. They got naked for this guy pre-season. I kept my clothes on. I'm telling you, I was the one that kept my clothes on. I said, pre-season is nothing to take your clothes off for. Keep them on. Yeah, come the real season, the real business end of the season, when things actually start. Now, look, I was telling people from day, this guy is not a striker. He's not a striker. This guy is not that guy. He is an inside forward winger, whatever it is, but he is not a center forward. And we keep seeing it. We keep seeing it, bro. How many opportunities is this guy going to miss? Yeah, there was a point blank header that came to him yesterday. He really should have scored that. Do you know what he actually said? I wasn't anticipating it. I wasn't ready. What? Are you all right? Why are you playing as a centre forward if you're not anticipating chances in the box, bro? What are we doing here, fam? And then I was told by Chelsea fans, we don't need Vlahovic. He's going to ruin the development of Jackson. He's going to ruin the development of Broha and all these guys. What are we doing here?
Your club's going down the same route, Goonie, as Arsenal have gone down. Yeah, putting out as much prop as they can to lower the standards. Yeah, we're slowly getting back to where we should be. Well, we're near the top now, but ultimately, like you said, it's about winning. It's about results, and it's about trophies. Yeah, your club ain't winning a trophy anytime soon. And for the size of your club, the amount of money you've spent, the history with Roman, mate, that guy's absolutely battered your football club inside 12 months. battered it, and now all the props come out, and now millions of your fans are sat online going, oh, well, we can't sign this player, and because it hindered his performance, and he needs to play. Give Mudryk a chance. Mate, the guy's played 21 games. He has still yet to score a goal. Yeah, you've gone for youth player. How about get some players that can win now? You ain't won a title for 6 years, bro. That'll soon be 16. Yeah, real quick. I know that. I'm talking from experience, bro. I had a better forehead. It was a smaller forehead the last time my team won the league. So it's crazy. I watched you lot yesterday, and I just thought, you've done £1 billion, and you look exactly the same as last season. It's exactly the same. You can't score goals. You can't defend properly. You're getting carved open by Bournemouth. And if they had a finisher, they would have won that game.
100%.
Mad.
Truth.
You know what, man? Big up Lewis is in the chat as well. Sava, Pochettino, former manager. Where do you think he goes wrong in? You know, is it the late substitutions? Is it stubbornness? Is it the fact that he kind of has a lot of excuses? And where do you look at them right now? And do you think he's lost that magic? You know, the once famous song, his magic. You know, is he lost that?
I mean, first of all, before Poch got to that stage, it took him a long time to figure out what was his best 11 and stuff. And this is what I said. He's not the guy that you drop in and you go, immediately everything's great. This guy takes time. This guy takes time to get his football across. This guy takes time to find out his best team. And I said my worry for Chelsea all along was not in the long term. It's not in the long term. I think it will work itself out. I think it's the patience and wanting everything now. I don't think this is the Chelsea of old. I think, well, I'm sorry, this is not the Chelsea of old that we're all used to winning things. And when you look at what I've said it before, they've done too much too soon. I don't talk about the billion. The billion for me doesn't really mean anything. And the reason I say that is because they just tried to do what most clubs do in 5 years. They tried to do in a year. And when you do that, there's always going to be all of these teething problems, these issues. He's got a lot of injuries as well. I'll say that for him. So the team you're watching yesterday for Chelsea, that's nowhere near what Chelsea's best team will be when they actually get players fit. But he is making strange decisions, and he's got a history of making strange decisions. Now, Spurs fans back this. This is why when he left Spurs, I was not too concerned, because we've got history of him playing like Son at left wing back in a FA Cup semi-final against, I think it was against Chelsea. FA Cup semi-final against Man United the year after, and he's dropping Hugo Lloris and Kyle Walker, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? We don't have backups to Kyle Walker and Hugo Lloris. Dropping Toby Alderweireld for North London derbies, and then Aubameyang goes and has a field day and they score 4. Harry Kane, Lucas Moura in the Champions League final. For me, I think he's a very good coach over time. I think he's an excellent coach, but he's an overthinker. He's a real overthinker. And all I can see is when I watch Chelsea now, the tinkering, not for the injured players, I get it, but the tinkering is too much. One game it's wing backs. Next game it's a back four. Then you've got a left wing back playing as a left winger. The next game you've got a centre half playing at left back. And I've said it all along. Everyone in my fan base hates me for saying this all the time. Everything is about consistency. You have to find the formation. You have to build partnerships between players, the left back and the left winger, the right back and the right winger, the centre halves. This constant chopping and changing is gonna kill Chelsea if he doesn't sort this out very soon. And the last thing I'll say on it was, I mean, again, what it looked like yesterday is Chelsea had, a lot of the football, had some chances, but it's the last ball in the final third. And to be fair, Mudryk will be scapegoated. He always is, but Mudryk actually he created chances yesterday. He put a couple of balls in the box where on another day, you're turning around and everyone's going, did you see Mudryk's 2 assists yesterday? But as it is, you can't finish a dinner and it's, Mudryk was pulled off, another bad performance. And I don't know. I don't know. It just feels weird. It feels like Man United and Chelsea are very similar right now. It just feels very weird.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Different reasons, but similar, if that makes
different
sense.
Reasons, similar, yeah. Similar. In terms, they bought a lot and they don't know what they're doing with it. And we've bought a lot and we don't know what we're doing with it. You know what I mean? So, But you know what it is, though? Let me come to you, LB. Can Chelsea have the same season as last season? Like, it could actually happen, when you deep it. If they don't win their game against Villa, which I don't think is likely, they've got, I think after that Fulham away, And then I think after that, who is it after that? Goonie. I don't know who's that. But then they've got that tricky run all the way until the end of October, and I'm like, yo, bro, it's crazy. Go on.
It's Aston Villa at home, Fulham away, Burnley away, Arsenal at home, Brentford at home, Spurs away, City at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home, United away, Everton away. And then it goes Sheffield United. It gets relatively easier after that, but that run, this is why
relatively easy.
Remember when I said this is why I was saying, come Christmas, we could be bottom half of the table, easy, if we're not careful.
That's mad, you know. LB, man, like,
yeah.
What are you saying, bro?
I watched the game yesterday. I thought up until they got to the penalty area, I thought they looked okay. But don't get that twisted and think that I thought they looked good. I don't think they looked. I just thought they looked okay. I also thought they looked very vulnerable, especially in that sort of last 10, 15 minutes. I thought Bournemouth looked like most likely to nick it. I just look at the team, I look at the squad, and even with the injuries, I just don't see the money that they've spent. And the manager is, similar to Ten Hag. What's he ever really done? You know what I mean? And he's been given the keys to a gigantic project at Chelsea. And I just think to myself, I look at it, and Savo was speaking, said something about the long term. You don't worry about the long term. I look at the long term. I look at the short term, medium term, long term. And I just don't see any encouragement, because for me, to get excited about the medium term and the long term, you've got to have something in the short term to get you excited. And I just look at it and I just don't get excited, man.
To be fair, on the flip side of that, I'll say at the same time that and I hate to be the if guy, I hate to be this guy, but in terms of the short term, if we had Badiashile available, we had Lavia available, Caicedo available, Nkunku available. Do you know what I mean? That could have been a different result. That's what I'm saying. So,
you spent £1 billion, man.
But come on, and look at the players that I've just mentioned. 3 out of 4 of those players were players that we spent part of that $1 billion on. They're not available.
Also, though, I don't think it's about defending. I think your problem is scoring. And you bought Jackson in, who can't score. Sterling's hit and miss. Mudryk, he hasn't scored a goal yet. Who's your goal scorers? Like, because last season it was the same thing.
Bro, the only goal scorer that we have, and he's not even proven at Chelsea, is Nkunku, and he's not even a striker.
Bro, come on, man.
That's it. That's all we have.
I don't think your problem is at the back. I think your problem is scoring goals. I think you've only scored You scored 3 against Luton. Come on, Luton. Luton will probably not get any points. They'll probably get worse record than Derby County.
They'll be out of here by March, bro.
Sorry, Luton.
They'll be relegated by March or something ridiculous like that. They'll be gone out of it, bro. The only proven goal scorer, and he's not even done it in the Premier League, is Nkunku. And they told me that Jackson was baby Drogba, fam. Drogba reject. Are you all right, cut?
Goonie, can I just say that when I said about Chelsea for the long term, I'm only going by, listen, I've had that manager at my club for 6 years. Right? I've seen 6 years of what this guy does, and it's very similar. Now, without the £1 billion spent, but again, as I said, the £1 billion spent, that's great. If all those players were, I'll tell you what, you're right, Goonie. If Fofana, Badiashile, Caicedo, Lavia, and Nkunku, if all of these players were fit and playing in your 11 and you were getting these results, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be massively worried, right? 100%. I just think at the moment, when I looked at your 11 that lined up yesterday, I'll be honest, I didn't think there was too much in it, but difference between you and Bournemouth. And I know that's crazy, but I looked at your midfield too. It's like, Leslie Chukwuemeka, is it?
He did all right. He did all right, to be fair.
He played all right.
Yeah. But when you looked at that 11, compared to what you've bought. So I do think that, again, it's time. Like, again, I know football fans don't like time or anything, but I think you've got to get some of these players fit. You've got to, if you keep sacking managers, you are going to be just in this perpetual cycle of this again. And the new manager's going to come in. We keep using the example of Nagelsmann, right? I think everyone keeps talking about Nagelsmann for Man United, for Chelsea, right? Nagelsmann will come in. He'll go, I don't want him. They'll be trying to be flogged. Then you'll buy another 5, 6, 7 players and people will go, oh my God, that 1 billion is now 1.4 billion. And then it will just be this cycle of endless managers, endless tactics. At some point, The manager needs to be given a season to settle everything down. It can't be on 5 games. I don't care. Fans will talk about 1 billion. That's fine. But it can't be on 5 games.
No way.
It really can't be on 5
No, but you
games.
can't have it. But how have they not got a player that can't score goals? I look at this Nicholas
I
Jackson,
agree.
man, and I look at he's not a striker, mate. I'm not having he's a striker. No chance. He ain't
Nkunku will
He
score
also
loads
needs
in the
help.
Premier League, though.
He also needs help, man.
Will get loads.
Yeah, but he's not going to play at the top of it. Surely he's going to play slightly behind Nkunku. Or he's
You know
not
who should
a
have got?
striker, though, is he? Nkunku.
You know who they should have got? Yeah, he's banging in goals for Serie A, and I called it all summer. Vlahovic, Matisse,
sure.
all of you Chelsea fans that was
No.
saying
Don't say
to
all of you. Notice that I am not involved in you.
No,
I'm not
not
involved in you.
Not you. Okay, not you. But Vlahovic here is a top striker, man, and he's scoring goals now for fun in a Serie A. You see the goals yesterday he scored. I think it was the other day on Saturday, scoring left foot, right foot. He should have been the guy. He only cost you 40-50.
Yeah, they told me he's overrated. They told me for Lukaku plus £30 million, he's not worth it. Yeah, he's gonna come to the Premier League and he's gonna be a Serbian Lukaku. Yeah, he's just gonna do the same thing all over again as what Lukaku did. Yeah, but Nicholas Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, who had 0 top experience at the top level before going to Villarreal, by the way, yeah, was the better option than Dusan Vlahovic, who has had experience at the top level, Champions League level. I believe has won something at Juve. I might be wrong there, but do you know what I mean? This is what I was told, fam. Mental, absolute craziness.
The problem you've got is you've only had 1 win this season. Yeah, and it's a continuation of the poor form from last season.
Mate, 6 wins in 2023, Lee. Let's put a greater context to that. I think it's 6 wins in 2023.
We're in the middle of September.
Enzo has not seen the top half of the table.
And the thing is, you're currently sat 14th.
Man said
I don't know who your next 4 or 5 games are, but if you still end up with only 1 win out of the next 4 or 5, Poch is looking like it's going to be a myth, mate. I can't lie. And Savile, I get what you're saying about you can't just keep sacking managers, but at the end of the day, it's Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, and they have to get better. And as it stands, they're not getting better. They're getting worse or stagnating to what they were last season, continuing it on.
So Lee, let me ask you a question. If after 15 games, Chelsea sack Pochettino, and by the way, I'm not sticking up for Poch here. I don't care. I was quite happy he was sacked from Spurs club. If they sack him after 15 games, what's then the remit of the new manager coming in? What's the remit of the new manager coming in with 23 games left of the season to go?
Oh, just finish as high as you can, or try and get try and nick an FA Cup or something. Yeah, they're still in the League Cup, aren't they?
This team is not winning a trophy.
This team is not winning a trophy. I don't think they are either. But you can't just allow a manager to keep his job when he's doing that poorly, continuing the poor form from last season, just because but they ain't going to do nothing this season anyway. You could like Chelsea can't have that attitude. Like, we can all sit there and say it as fans and whatever, like, oh yeah, but if they sack him, who are they going to get? Is he going to do any better? Blah. It's all ifs and buts. The fact is, they've won a title for 6 years.
But listen, I hear that. I just think if you sack a manager after 15 games, what if the next manager does poor in his 15 games? I mean, can we be sacking? By we, I mean football clubs. I'm not Chelsea. Before that gets clipped and I get called a Chelsea fan. Can we as football clubs be sacking managers every 15 games because it's Chelsea, because it's Man United?
No. What I'm saying is last season they were poor. Yeah, finished 10th, 12th, whatever it was. Yeah, Poch has come in, new manager bounce ain't happened.
No, yeah? I agree with you.
So based off of the fact of last season's poor form, he's come in and nothing's really happened. They have to look at something else if it carries on, because otherwise they're going to be out of Europe again next season.
Poch is a great choice for a club if they want time and they want to grow, right? Is Poch the guy you drop into any football club and go,
he's massively overrated anyway.
Win us now?
They needed a Simeone-esque manager, somebody that's going to go in there and say, bollocks, you're out, and we're doing
Mourinho back, man. He won 7-0 last night. Get him
Jose part 3.
Jose Mourinho, man, 7-0, man. He's got the magic there, still there, man.
Yeah, man.
But listen, man,
he plays terrorist football in that 7-0, yeah.
7-0, man, riding it back, man. But listen, people, we still got 1.7k in here. I want to touch on Tottenham because I feel like Tottenham deserve their praise as well. Listen,
this lot, by the way, sorry to cut in there. This lot, man, they are the most shameless fans. They're all in meltdown, going into stoppage time, and then it's, oh yes, we're going to beat you at the Emirates on Sunday. Right? If you had lost to Sheffield United, none of you would have this chest. Henry's going, we're in a title race. Like, come on, man. Do me a favour.
See the celebration at the end, though, man. They're ready, man.
If they think they're coming to the Emirates, right, and playing that Ange ball, we are going to absolutely batter them. Yeah, they will just get done on the break. Anyway, that's my penny's worth.
No, listen, I seen the United feel Savo, you know what I mean, the players doing the kind of hoorays and whatnot. And you know what? You got a bit of a bond there, man. Ange's building something there, man. And like I said, Tottenham, I'm now predicting Tottenham to finish fourth now. I think Tottenham will finish fourth in the league this year. Do you think you finish higher?
Look. Yeah, this is one of the moments in it where whatever you say comes back to you. Listen, I'll keep the same energy I've had all along. Can Spurs get fourth? Yes, if everything goes right, if everyone stays fit. It's a paper-thin squad in terms of quality. The first 11 is a good 11, right? But you've got to keep everyone fit. Playing once a week, does it help? Yes, because it gives people a week to recover from any potential knocks they might get. But you also lose some momentum, right? But I think we've got a really good manager now this is a football manager now. I don't want to hear any of this. He's a coach. He's this. This is a football man. This is a man that puts his arms around people and goes, I believe in you. Go out and do this. This is what we need to do. There's none of this ego about, it's not about him with managers we've had in the past. It's not about, it's not about, oh my God, he's come from this big club and we're expecting loads from him. This is just an out and out football guy that lives it, breathes it, sleeps it. I love what he's doing, but I think everyone will tell you I'm quite a sensible fan in that respect, right? That I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yeah, we're going to the Emirates and we're battering Arsenal. Yeah, then we've got Liverpool at home and we're going to batter them, because you set yourself up for a fall. I'll say what I've said all summer, right? I'll say what I said, especially for the beginning of this season. Let's see where we are after we play Liverpool and Arsenal, right? If you come out of Liverpool and Arsenal, you're unbeaten, maybe 4 points, something like that from those two games, then you start having the conversation of, hang on, Tottenham are a serious team here. Tottenham are a serious threat. Lose both those games, and all of a sudden you've got the mud and this and that. And so for me, let's see what the next two games bring. Saturday, Lee is right. I was doing a watch along for the game, Saeed, and after after like 97 minutes, when we're losing 1-0, it's all the comments. Oh, same old Tottenham. We're Spursy. The manager's changed nothing. And it was a big test, but we came through it. We got the 2 goals. We stayed galvanised. The manager didn't do a Conte and throw on centre-backs. He took off a centre-back. He threw on forwards, and we went for it, and we won. But 5 games. 5 games. It's the same as when I'm talking about Chelsea. It's the same when I'm talking about the only team after 5 games I'm giving the league to already is Man City. Right? But after 5 games, you're not going to have me sitting here going, yeah, we're in a title race, bro. Like,
last season, Sam, 5 games in, you're in the top 4 as well.
Yeah, right.
So, I think
it's their best start, though. It's their best start ever for a while, isn't it? Best start in a while, is it? Over 60 years, is it?
Look, we've had good starts in the last 4 or 5 seasons under Nuno and Conte, where we've won like the first 3 and everyone's going, oh my God, Spurs. I think what's different this year, it's the togetherness. It's the football we're playing as well. I think even in the year when we won 3 under Nuno, I'm watching the games going, we deserve maybe 1 point from that 9. I don't know how we've got 9 points. We were awful. Now we're playing football. We're taking it to teams. But the test is at the Emirates on Sunday. This is the test. Go and beat Arsenal, right, before fans start having this victory parade down Tottenham. Go and beat Arsenal in their back garden and show everyone what you're all about. But for me, if you're offering me a point right now, right, I am taking that. I am taking that point.
How Spursy, Sava? You're taking
no, man. Listen. Not Spursy at all. Because listen, so far the teams we've played, we've played some okay teams, but there's a difference between coming up against the likes of Saka, the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Declan Rice. There's a difference between that and having played McBurney from Sheffield United, Solanke from Bournemouth, right? Do you know what I mean? Martial, even if I'm going to chuck that in from, right? There's a huge difference. So I keep my feet on the ground. If we beat Arsenal, I'll be overjoyed. But tough game. Just come away from there.
It's a massive game for us both, because if we lose, then we might as well say City have won it.
I think City won it already.
I think they have as well, mate. They're relentless.
No, I think Arsenal are there, man. Arsenal showed a bit of resilience yesterday. You know what I mean? I put a tweet out yesterday and it's rattled the Arsenal fan base right away. I said,
Arsenal, I have them on strings every day.
I said Arsenal have lost their swagger. They're not entertaining to watch as last season, and I think that's down to maybe Arteta now being a bit kind of having that PTSD of, you know what, I need to win these games and I need to play by any means necessary and whatnot. But like I said to you, you got the job result yesterday. Last season, you probably would have drew that game, so that's a plus as well.
That's our first win there for 6 years, mate.
Well, there you go. It's a hoodoo. I don't know why that's a hoodoo ground for you lot.
Do you know what was crazy? You've just said exactly what I said on the watch along yesterday. It's almost like we've gone away from playing this gung-ho all-out attack football because we're getting done on the break here and there. Even though it got us flying for 93% of the season, that PTSD at the back end of that season is in he's now worrying, thinking, right, I can't do this. But it's taken everything away from what made us decent to watch last season. So now we're sitting there just bored. I was sat there bored yesterday, going, mate, this has got 1-0 to Calvert-Lewin written all over it. And then obviously Trossard got the goal, but we weren't pretty. We weren't good to watch yesterday. And our goalkeeper could have had a cigar on the go. He did nothing. Like, people are hyped up about, yes, he's classing so much better than Ramsdale. Mate, I don't even know. He must have touched the ball like 20 times. Like, come on, calm down. Yeah, but we weren't good. We got the result. Yeah, I think Martinelli's now injured. I think he's done his hamstring.
That's a big blow, you know. But then again, you got Trossard, man, who's again amazing.
Everybody, bro, he's our best player, and they can't get their heads around it. How's he our best player? Is our best player? Yeah,
do you know what, Lee? It's going to be
our best player.
I think for the first time, what I am looking forward to about coming to the Emirates for the first time in years is that it will be a proper game of football. I think in the last 4 or 5 years, we've come to your ground and literally gone, go on, have the ball. We're going to sit back and just let you play in front of us. I'm not saying that means we win, but I think it will be a really good game of football where you come out at the end of it and go, cool, like 3-3 or 4-3 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
last time you had a real go was when Unai Emery was there, and Eric Dyer was giving it all of that to the North Bank, and then we done you 4-2.
Yeah,
I was at that game, mate. The atmosphere that day in the ground was mad. Yes, I was right behind Aubameyang's shot. Yeah, just off the post. As soon as he hit it, we all knew it was in. Yeah, and then Torreira ripping his shirt off. But that game was mad. That had everything in that game.
Do you reckon fans will take Spurs more seriously? If we do, I'm not sitting here saying we're going to win. If we do come away from the Emirates with 3 points, do you think people will then start to go, hang on, you've won 5
the next
of
2
your
games.
first 6.
If you win the next 2 games, against Liverpool and Arsenal, you lot could be the serious team. If you look, I'm being serious, LB, you not think that's right? Oh,
you got to win them both. You got to win them both, innit? You can't just beat Arsenal.
If they win them both, boy, I'm telling you now, Tottenham might be the new Kings of London, man.
Look at Saeed, like, Spurs, man. Come on, it's Spurs, bro. Come on. They're the only club, right, out of the big 6, that I can actually take the mick out of. Yeah, because I can't take the mick out of United. You're the most successful. Man City are the most successful now. Liverpool are more successful than Arsenal in their history. Yeah, so have Chelsea been for the last 20 years. The only club I can have a laugh and take the mick out of is Spurs, because they've always been crap in my lifetime.
Do you know the funny thing is, right? But Lee, last night on my show, right? Sunday's my main show of the week, and I've got so many fans. Like, literally, I'm getting that whole thing again with Savvy, you're negative because I refuse to say Tottenham are in the title race. This blows my mind, by the way. It blows my mind how I'm negative for that. But we made a good point. One of the guys, Poch, on my show, made a really good point, and he said you win both those games, and whatever happens, even if City win their next 2, which are Wolves and Forest, you're 2 points behind City. Flip side to that, and this is how quick football changes. Lose those 2 games to Arsenal and Liverpool, you're 8 points behind City. And straight away, then all of the title race, everyone can just go, right, shut up, calm down. Look, get back into Europe. That's what Spurs should be worrying about this year. Get back into Europe, build this together.
Win a trophy.
And if you get, we're not going to win a trophy. We've only got the FA Cup. We're not going to win a trophy unless everything goes our way. But get back into Europe. And if it's Champions League, I think then Postecoglou deserves a medal, and we've had a brilliant year. But we go from 5 games ago from we're getting relegated without Harry Kane. A lot of our fan base, we're getting relegated. Where are we going to score? To Sava, you're negative because you don't think we're in a title race. And I'm like, hang on. I was the one saying we'll be all right without Harry Kane. And now I'm negative because I don't think we're beating Man City to a treble.
I said as well, you'd be all right without Kane. You'll be a better team without him because everyone had to pass to Harry. I'll give it to Harry. Give it to Harry. And look at the way you're playing at the minute. But ultimately, that comment in the chat is the guy said, he said the title challenges are not in September. Mate, we know this 100%. We was there for 93% of the season. And then LB's team just went, move out the way, give us our title. It's like, all right, you've had your fun, lads. Now give us our title back. It's crazy. But the thing is, Spurs are do all right this season. But like I said to Henry the other day, and I'll say on here, you're literally 2 injuries away from folding. Yeah, if you lose Basuma or you lose Maddison for any sustained period of time, I think you're finished. Yeah, because there ain't no one on the bench that's at that level.
Lee, I always caveat. I know I've always said about YouTube in that my microphone, it must have this real way of I say something, but what comes out on stream is completely different. Because I've always caveated this and said, can Spurs get top 4? Yes. Will they? Depends on everyone staying fit for 38 games, right? Because we've got nothing under that 11. Now, in December, we play 7 games with that paper-thin squad. Right? Like next month, I think we've got 3 games. 3 games across the month. It's December, you've got 7. You've got Basuma and Papa Sarr going to the African Cup of Nations. You've got Heung-min Son going to the Asian Cup. Listen, injuries, suspension, form has to all be great. Transfer window in January needs to be spot on. So can it be done? Yes. But at the moment, I'm not going to sit here and get carried away because I'm 40. I've learnt my lesson. I've learnt my lesson. But listen, I'll let all the kids get carried away. They can all get carried away. I know my club. I know what the other teams are about. And I know that 5 is not the same as 38. Right? Just a little maths lesson. 5 is not 38. If we're here on game 30, guys, if Spurs are in game 30 within 5-6 points of the title, I will dream.
I'm telling you, man. That would be crazy. Before Arsenal win a league, that's mad. That's mad. But listen, I want to quickly. That would be brilliant, man. Liga might just disappear forever. Quickly touch on Man City.
If Spurs win the title this season, I'll deactivate my channel.
Wow.
I'll just go and see
you heard it here first.
Like all the other clubs.
You heard it here first. That's it. But listen, people. Keep liking the video, people. 1.7k still in the building. I want to touch on Doku and Man City quickly. LB, what are you saying, man? You know what? I thought I was watching the stadium, right? And we were losing, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? I told Leslie next to me, I said, it's 1-0, man. 1-0 to West Ham, though. And she was like, yeah, that'll make my day at least. And then you come back to 3-1.
Yeah. Nah, it was one of those.
What are you saying, man?
They scored against the run of play, innit? But we looked good again. Created loads of chances. Haaland should have scored about 5 goals. Only got the 1. And Doku looks frightening. Yeah. He gives us something that we've not had since Sterling and Jesus left, which is a bit of pace, a little bit of direct play. I say all the time to Arsenal fans that Jesus' best position's on the wing. A lot of them still don't believe me, but you'll see it eventually when he plays there. Last year we had Mahrez, Bernardo, Grealish, very slow, very good players, don't get me wrong, but very slow. And now we got Doku, man. That pace, that sort of, he don't care, mate. You know what I mean? He'll just take players on. And look, you know, we're looking all right. We created chat. We're not even playing that well, mate. And Haaland missed 5 big chances on Saturday. So as soon as we get out of second gear, third gear, I think we'll start putting 5 or 6 goals past some of these teams. The bad news for us is after 2-3 weeks, that's when I think everyone's got the same. In October, November, I think every team has like a mad run. So we've got Wolves and Forest, and Forest have no mugs. And I know Wolves, to be fair. I think they played all right so far this season, just can't score. But yeah, man, I just think we're going to walk the league, man. I just don't see any team in this division anywhere near the level.
Do you know what the mad thing is, Lewis? It's like you're in second gear. Every time I've watched Man City this season, they're literally just plodding. Yeah, and they're battering teams there with chances. Like the Fulham game, Fulham gave you a bit of a go, but ultimately you battered them 5-1. And people can cry about the goal being offside, it shouldn't have stood. I don't think it was offside anyway. Yeah, he never touched the ball and the keeper didn't stop his dive. Yeah, he was already diving that way and he carried on. But you've scored 5 goals. And like you said, Haaland could have had 5 yesterday. As soon as you start clicking 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, it's game over anyway. You've won 5 out of 5.
Game over anyway,
First time Pep's done that for Man City.
I'd also say as well, Lee, we're playing Alvarez in a different position. Like, he's not even a midfielder. We're playing him in midfield. He's looking great in midfield. He's a striker, and we're playing him in midfield. Doku, that's his 2nd game. So, yeah, everything's going well, man. Everything's going well. Just got to keep the key players fit. You know, Kevin De Bruyne's still not playing for us, by the way. He'll come back in January. And it was really funny, man. It was so funny when he got injured, yeah. I had so many fans say, oh, you're going to be in trouble now. I said, what? So all we have to do, right? The Champions League, that don't start properly till February. He'll be back by then. We'll piss the group no matter who we get because we're in the top seed, right?
No, this is chest. This right here is chest, isn't it?
This is chest, but it's also facts.
No, I agree.
Champions
League don't start till February.
It don't start till February. The FA Cup don't start till January, February. He'll be back for that.
Imagine having this much confidence in your team, man. I miss these days, man.
This is what it is. And so long as we're within 5 or 6 points of the number 1 team in the Premier League by the time Kevin De Bruyne comes back, you best believe I'll be back in my team anyway. So it's just, you know, I'm loving it, man. You know, football's great, defense is good, and in January, February, when Kevin De Bruyne gets back, I'm just ready.
I think you'll buy someone in January as well. I think you'll
you know who's playing well as well. Alvarez is unbelievable, by the way. Alvarez is a player, man, guys.
He's absolutely class.
He's a player.
That Doku, I've never watched him before. Yeah, I'm not one of these that pretends I watch every player from every league. Yeah, I've never seen him play football before. And what I've seen in them 2 games, firstly, he's lightning quick. Yeah, but his upper body strength is mad. Yeah, the way he's holding players off, yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then he's just got that electric pace. Yeah, to spin a player, hold him off, spin, and he's gone. And he can cross a ball. Yeah, he can consistently cross a ball pretty well. And there's not many players that can do that in the Premier League.
Do you think we're ever going to have a summer where people stop doing this whole thing where City lose a couple of players and everyone goes, oh, this is the year they're going to struggle? Are we ever going to stop doing this?
We beat MLS All-Stars 5-0 and everyone was going, we've bridged the gap.
Yeah,
we've bridged the gap. Like, do me a favour. They're clear, man. And the reason they're clear is because they're clear from top to bottom. And no other club, our 3 clubs, Chelsea, Liverpool, none of us are serious. Yeah, we're nearly good.
Are we serious? Are we serious? No. I'm glad we've ended the show and Lee hasn't cooked me because he came late. That's your punishment, Lee. We're not cooking. You're not cooking me because you're late. So I'm saying to that, I would love for us to extend the show, but it's now past injury time. So maybe another day.
I was howling, mate.
And by the way,
can I just say this as well? Sorry, Si. Can I just say very quickly, I got absolutely rinsed for having to go at Hannibal for celebrating. I said that the mentality at that.
Now leave him alone, man.
No, no. He's 20 years old, right? I know it's his first goal and all of that. Cool, right?
He's been through a lot, you know. Been through a lot in them 3 years, apparently. He's been through a lot. He's not had his time. Imagine like this is your time, your moment, and you've been waiting for it. And it was a good goal as well, you know. But I hear you.
Yeah, he ain't good enough. That's why he ain't at his time. But to go 3-1 and be jumping around, and so that is the mentality of Manchester United Football Club right there, embodied in that kid's attitude, because he felt that comfortable to get a consolation goal back.
If it was Bruno, then I hear you. But it's a kid, though, isn't it? It's 20 years old. It's his first goal. I can't lie for me.
In the era of your proper teams, there's no way Roy Keane would allow that, mate. Yeah, there's no way. Well, firstly, you wouldn't be 3-0 down to Brighton in the first place. Yeah, but. Real talk, for me, I was just like, no. Pick the ball up and run back to the penalties, the centre circle. When Evan Ferguson scored his first goal for Brighton, I think that was against Man United. Yeah, and they were losing. He didn't celebrate. That was his first goal. He didn't celebrate. They just run back to the halfway line, ready to go again. Yeah, the mentality is wrong at that club, man, to the point where he felt so comfortable doing what he did. Good luck to him. I hope he has a good career in that, But, mate, you 3-1 down. And you're celebrating like you just scored a winning goal.
By the way, Saeed, Ten Hag could be going because Neil Warnock's just stepped down, breaking news, as the Huddersfield manager. So you could have big Neil Warnock in the dugout for your next game, couldn't you? Man United.
Listen, mate, I'm telling you. And by the way, Aaron Bissaka is out for 2 months, by the way. So we are fucked.
I'll tell you what, he'd give a better. I reckon he'd fire them up in the changing room. I think he'd rip a few people with old
How
Neil
did he get
Warnock.
hamstring injury? He came on for 10 minutes. When did Wan-Bissaka come on? Let me just look at the Brighton game. Like, genuinely, I want to know when he actually came on, guys. Let me just look at it here. One second.
This fella in the chat said Lee don't like fun. No, I like winning, mate. That's what the aim of the game is. It's a sport. Yeah, you compete to see who's going to win at the end of the season.
I don't know what it was, but let me know in the chat, guys, when it was, man, because I'm sorry, that is crazy. And by the way, yeah, we've got your medical doctor, man, so I don't know what's going on, mate.
Yeah,
so
we gave you our doctor, and you've got about 12 injured players since he's got there.
Side, can I ask one question to you? I know you want to wrap the show. I just want to ask a question to you and the United fans. You've got Bayern Munchen on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I'll
be there. I'll be there.
How are you? Is it in Bayern, right?
Yeah, Bayern. Yeah,
right.
Bayern.
How are you feeling? And do you think that, just really quickly, do you think that both Chelsea and Man United should have gone all out to buy Harry Kane?
100%. 100%. Harry Kane should have been the prize. That's it. But obviously, with Man United in a minute, we are broke apparently. And for me, spent money not wisely on certain other players. Honestly, Mount and certain other players, I would have sacrificed it for Harry Kane. You know what I'm saying? And then got some other players in there that were probably cheaper, like Amrabat. And
so Højlund and Mount for what was it? 120 million? 125 million?
100% I would take that. 100%. Right. You're telling me Harry Kane for Højlund and Mount? Are you mad?
So I did
all day long.
Saeed, I went and did a thing with William Hill. I went and did an event with them, and the Man United fan repping Man United that day was categorically telling me that Man United would be worse off with Harry Kane in the team. And I remember everyone else from all the other 19 clubs sat there and went, "What?" Like he was like, "Oh, you're biased. You're Spurs." I went, "Sorry." Forget that I support Spurs. Doesn't Harry Kane guarantee 30 goals a season, like and score every week? Like Chelsea and Man United right now aren't where they are in the league with Harry Kane in their team. Chelsea would have won 4 of their 5 games with Harry Kane in their team.
Chelsea should have got him. They got the money. They should have said, all that money that you're spending on, bro, go and buy it on Harry Kane. They're so stupid, man. Chelsea at least have the money there. They've got an abundance of money.
He's over 25. Their remit this summer was players 25 and under. That's why they didn't sign Madison.
Crazy. Crazy, man.
So what's the score going to be then, Saeed? Bayern what?
Bayern 3. Bayern 3
would be lovely.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I really hope whoever I had the bet with has got the balls to stand up and go, yeah, I had that bet. Spurs will finish below Man United. I'm happy with that bet. I'm really happy.
I hope he's around. Bet. I hope he's around, man.
5-1 would be great because the last 3 times we've played Bayern, we've lost 5-1 all 3. Yeah. The Man United fans have been running their guns about it. It'd be.
But you know what? They weren't great. Now, I watched them on Friday. They weren't great, you know. I think Brighton's a harder fixture than Bayern Munich. I watched them on Friday, man.
Somebody clip that.
Hang on. Yeah, that's got to be clipped.
No. Let me rephrase that.
It's clipped. It's clipped. No. You said it. When Harry Kane's doing his little hop, skip, and jump because he's just knocked in his third.
Okay. No, let me rephrase that. I said the Brighton game will probably be harder than the Bayern Munich game because of the way they play. I looked at Bayern Munich. I watched them on Friday. I'm sorry, man. Their midfield didn't look great. Again, they've got top players, but Brighton will play better football and probably done what they did, than Bayern Munich. So I look at it and I think that was a harder fixture. So we'll see.
There you go, Saeed. Anyway, Brighton are better than Bayern Munich claim. Love it.
I'm saying it'll be a tougher game. But anyway, let me wrap up because, like I said, I don't know what I said there. But Indy said a lot of people on Bruno. Can we be fair and talk about McTominay? 22 touches all game. Casemiro, my favourite CDM, kicking the ball out. We got to be fair. Listen, I hear you, man. I hear you. But listen, man, McTominay shouldn't be at the football club, man. Shouldn't be at the football club. It is what it is. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. LB, big up to you, my guy. Love for coming on.
Big up, man. Thanks for having me. Good show as always. And next Monday's Midday Live, we will be there. We will be there. It's
Bro,
the,
we will be there, man.
it's these two down
We will
below.
be there.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
one of them is gonna be crying, innit? We will be there.
Yeah, we will be. We will be. Lee, big up to you for coming on, man. Love, man.
Apologies for the lateness, man, but some idiot had an accident. They can't drive in a straight line over here, mate. It's crazy. So yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm on with Henry shortly as well on his channel. So
Big up Henry, man. Yeah, man. Big up Henry. And Sava, man, big up to you, Football Heritage. Love for coming on.
No, thank you. Enjoyed that. It's strange. Normally, I'm the one in the conversations about needing a new manager and not playing any football.
Yeah.
It's really strange. So hopefully it stays that, and I look forward to the conversation with Lee next Monday. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, after the derby as well. So we will be there, man. We will be there. Guys, I'll be live at 5 o'clock for the Straight Jacket podcast. And like I said to you, like the video on your way out. We're out.